Hi everyone, welcome back to Bushwick's Review Hub. Today we're going to do a movie review on the new Gladiator 2.
Strength to none.
Now I've been waiting for this one to come out because I did a review of the trailer of it and I really loved the first Gladiator. Good old Russell Crowe, gotta love him. But unfortunately, as we all know, Russell Crowe couldn't be in this one because realistically, Maximus died in the first one. But let's get on with the review. Initially I was surprised when I first ever heard that there was going to be a Gladiator 2 because I thought, well, how could they actually do it, seeing as originally Lucius, out of the original one, wasn't actually Maximus's kid, or they never actually referred to him as Maximus's kid. He was someone else's kid.
Your name is Lucius?
Lucius Varus, after my father.
And it seems along the way somewhere the storyline goes that the actual fact is that Lucius is Maximus's kid by the end of it. Now I've got to give Sir Ridley Scott real big props on this movie. Like, the attention to detail in the action scenes, the fighting scenes, the dramatic scenes, everything was intense. Like, first off, in the first 13 minutes you get a mad battle scene. And not just that, like, just beyond the battle scenes and the action and all the drama, there's a lot of attention to detail. So I'm talking like the ships, the chariots, like gladiator armor, everything like that. It's really good. And yeah, like I will say again, honestly, I was very skeptical about seeing this one because, like, I was a real big fan of the original. Didn't think they'd be able to do a number 2. And yeah, if you didn't actually watch the first movie, Gladiator, this one you might get a little bit of the storyline for the first one. To me, honestly, it is really a lot like the storyline out of the first one, but they've just mixed it up in certain parts. And I was doing a little bit of research on it because I was curious about, you know, all the emperors and everything that happens in it. And in actual fact, they actually stayed almost correct to the historical facts on it. Not exactly correct, so don't hold me on that one, but when I was looking up about the emperors and stuff like that and who took over the emperors, they're actually pretty right with the names and stuff like that. Now I don't want to give out too many spoilers in this one, but there might be a couple of them, but I'll give you a little bit of the storyline before we get into it. Now, the storyline seems pretty simple, but it actually has got a lot of twists along the way, which was pretty good. Don't want to give out too many spoilers of it, but I will give you a little taste of it. First thing that you get to see is Lucius all grown up in another land, and you don't actually get to see why until later on in the film. But next thing you know, within the first 13 minutes, the Romans appear and decide that they're going to take over this land because it's one of the last free nations. And as usual, the Romans in this movie come through and destroy everything, take most of the people, return them back to Rome, and start turning them into gladiators. But they don't understand that in one of their gladiators, he has a big secret. Now, after that big battle you get to see in the first 13 minutes, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but when you do see it, it's really good. And of course, when they get back to Rome, the prisoners of war have to get chosen to be gladiators. And then they get picked by a fella who's a master of gladiators, who's played by Denzel Washington.
Rage. Never let it go.
And then that next scene where he's picking the gladiators, I'm not giving away too many because I would like everyone to go and watch this movie, because even though I was a bit skeptic at it, it's actually a really good movie. But yeah, back to it. Once Denzel Washington picks his gladiators, that's when he pulls them in and starts training them up. And as usual, I still don't want to give too many away of the spoilers, but you know, trains them up, has a couple of battles, and next thing you know, he's headed to Rome for some games. And these games are actually to celebrate the wins that General Acacius has had, who's played by Pedro Pascal, that just took over Lucius's land by chance.
For the glory of Rome.
And as usual, once the games commence, there's a lot of politics, killing, and a lot of good battle scenes. Like, again, the attention to detail by Sir Ridley Scott is awesome. The naval ship scene, like, it really got me. That's the one battle I was really waiting for, and it did not disappoint at all.
Colosseum.
But it seems just like every Roman or gladiator movie we see, there's a lot of politics and conflict. Like, a lot of sneaky behind the scenes actions, little snake in the grass things, and Denzel Washington's character, Marcinus, is a lot behind all those plots. Again, don't want to give away too many spoilers, I want you to go see this movie, but yeah, he's a real big player in this game. And again, still don't want to give out too much of the storyline, but yeah, we'll move on. There's a couple of little bits in the movie that I would like to actually talk about that was actually really good. Like, the first battle within 13 minutes is where you get to see Lucius and General Acacius actually first fight. That was really well done. Like, honestly, catapults on ships and like ships with like towers that come over with drawbridges that come down, that was awesome. You know, there's a couple other little things, like when you walk through, the little details that get me in movies. Like, I see there's one scene where they're walking through and there's actually like a rhino head on a table. That was pretty cool to see. They're all actually like eating rhino. And at about 42 minutes in on the movie, there was a good scene that really got me. And it's a scene where like you have the two emperors in the palace, and they bring in 2 gladiators, one from each stable are the best, and then they make them fight hand to hand, or it was meant to be hand to hand, and a little bit of a spoiler, but one of the emperors has a little bit of a tantrum and says he wants to see blood. And as well, throughout this movie, you definitely get the nostalgic feeling of Gladiator 1, and as well as when you do watch it, you'll get, like, if you have watched Gladiator 1, about like the storyline comparisons that are very similar but mix and match around different areas. As well, in this movie, even though they don't show a lot of Maximus, they like to like portray that he's there. Like Lucius does this one move that we've all seen out of Gladiator 1 where he gets 2 swords and actually chops off someone's head in one go. Now we all know that Maximus did that in number 1, and that was pretty epic. And honestly, it's about halfway through the movie before you actually find out why Lucille, who's actually played by Connie Nielsen, who's actually reprised her role, which was awesome because she did it exceptionally well, comes in and actually tells Lucius that he's actually the son of Maximus, because he still didn't actually know that he was. And it's just crazy how like Lucius is, before he even gets to Rome, he's just hell-bent on a revenge act against General Acacius, because he feels that he killed, another little spoiler, his wife in the first battle that you get to see, and all he wants is Acacius's head. But he actually doesn't know, another spoiler, that Acacius is actually Connie Nielsen, Lucille's husband. And one thing that I like to add that doesn't really get told till halfway through the film that I would like to add is why actually Lucius was sent away, because when after Commodus was killed by Maximus, he was the last heir of the throne. So in Lucille's mind, everyone was going to come after him and try and kill him. So in her mind, her best thing was to do was to send him away. And I guess sending him away taught him how to be a man, but also made him feel resentment towards his mother and, Rome itself. Just like to say quickly in the middle of this review, guys, thank you for watching all my reviews. I hope that you like them. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. And if you have anything you'd like to chat about in the comments, just let me know. Now let's get back into this review. Now the first actor I'd like to talk about is actually Paul Mescal, and he plays the character of Lucius. Now, I feel that he played Lucius very well, because in this movie Lucius actually feels like he's rejected from Rome after his mother tells him that he has to leave, and he doesn't really know why. And the next thing you know, he sets up someplace far away, gets a wife, and next thing you know, it's all taken away by Rome again. And I feel that I feel that he portrayed the action, the drama, the intensity, everything that you needed to be, well, Maximus' son. Next up, we got Denzel Washington, who played Macrinus. Now, I feel that Denzel Washington was really good. He stole every scene that he was in, just because I guess he's been in acting a long time, and he's just really good at it. And his character was a real snake in the grass. Like, at the start, you don't really see it. You just think he's just a master of gladiators and he's just trying to do his thing. But by near the end of the movie, his plot is fully unveiled, and next thing you know, he's trying to take over the empire. One of the really good ones that I felt in this one was Pedro Pascal. Now, he actually played General Acacius. Now, when I was watching this movie, it actually felt every time he was in the scene that you were in Rome, honestly. Like, he played his battle scenes really well, the action was really well, his dramatic scenes were really good, and he just felt like he was really that old school strength and honor, like out of the first Gladiator, just like Maximus. And he even states in this one, when he's talking to Lucius, that he would die for Maximus, because he actually served with him. Now, Lucilla, who was played by Connie Nielsen in the first one, reprises her role in this one, and she did, as usual, exceptional. It honestly felt like she didn't even, it hadn't even been 13 years. It's just like you were watching it, just again like she was in Gladiator 1. Now, I've got to give props to these two, because it was actually really good. You had Joseph Quinn, who was playing Emperor Greta. Now, I don't know where they did their research from, but they were actually really good as emperors. I feel like, wow. It's a couple of scenes that you've seen, especially one near the end where the Emperor Greta, he gets up and he gets announces to the whole Colosseum, and it feels really intense, and I got a little bit of goosebumps while I was watching that scene, because it was really good. But it was funny that when you actually do the research on it, they almost keep true to the story where he was actually killed by his older brother, who is Emperor Caracalla. Now, Fred Hechinger played Emperor Caracalla. Now, this fella, he definitely dove into his role really well. Like, at some stages, he didn't even feel like he was his own person anymore. He was actually a Roman emperor, and it was actually quite cool to see him, because he's the one emperor that actually always wants to see blood. And the one ending scene that you get to see where he goes off is awesome. And the last person I'd like to give props to is honestly Sir Ridley Scott. He did exceptional with this film. Like, the attention to detail, the battle scenes, the storyline. Sometimes it's a bit predictable, but that's because I feel that in our days we've seen so many movies it's not funny, so they're sort of running out of ideas. That's why I didn't think they'd be able to go back to the well on Gladiator, but honestly they did, and I feel they did a good job. Even if you haven't seen Gladiator 1, Gladiator 2 is definitely a good watch. Alright everyone, my honest opinion on this one is really, the action was was a 10 out of 10 because the Colosseum battles are really awesome, especially how they brought in the naval one. Like when you get to see when you get to see them fill the Colosseum up with water and then have a navy battle, it was really good. Even it was really good to see that they sort of actually looked into their history and actually did navy tactics in that one. You get to see that if you actually watch the movie. Even the drama got me in certain points in this one because yeah, I really felt for Lucius in this because like honestly, at the start of it, he rejects Rome, everything like that, gets taken in as Gladiator, starts fighting, learns about his dad, his mum comes back to him, he's already lost his wife, he's had a bad time, and yeah, there were certain points in this one even almost made me tear up, that's for sure. So I'll give the drama definitely, 8 out of 10. The special effects, they were alright, but there were certain scenes, like there was a couple of shark scenes that I've seen, the CG wasn't really that good on sharks, but I guess, yeah, putting sharks in the Colosseum is pretty hard to do. So I'd probably give, the special effects, let's just go a 6 out of 10, just for safekeeping. But my overall opinion on this movie, guys, is yeah, definitely go out and watch it. I was really hesitant at first to see it, but I didn't think they could go back to the well. If you just take away it's actually a Gladiator film and it's just like, a movie itself about Rome, it's actually a really good film. But if you like the Gladiators like I do, it does follow the storyline a little bit, maybe a bit too weird for some people, but honestly, it's really good watch. The action, the drama, so Ridley Scott did really well on this one. Like yeah, use wait. There's a couple of scenes that I really like in it, and if you actually watch it, come back and comment and tell me what scenes you actually really liked on it. Alrighty everyone, thank you again for watching Bush's Review Hub on Gladiator 2 movie review. I actually think it's a really good movie. Go check it out for yourself. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have anything you want to chat about, just leave it in the comments. Now, thank you for watching Bush's Review Hub, and I'll catch you on the next one.